I realized I was forgetting something key there. Were we going with no sound? Hey, sweetie pie. Hey, sweetie pie. No pacifier? Hold on. Let's try something else out. Let's go this way. All right. I might have been doing the first 2 minutes of this broadcast without any sound. I got my little co-pilot here. Apologies. What is it? You got something to say? All right. Here's the update, you guys. This is incredible. August 12th, 2007 was the only time there was an incident with this airline before. August 12th, 2007. And they say today's incident happened at 9:07 a.m. local time. 9:07 a.m. Remember, as we talked about earlier, plane crash has a gematria 97 like death. Do you want to guess exactly how many weeks it is from August 12th, 2007 until today, December 29th, 2024? Do you want to take a guess exactly how many weeks it is in light of the 9:07 plane crash? Check this out. From August 12th, 2007 to September 29th, 2024 is exactly 907 weeks. Exactly 907. So I thought, this isn't a number I have ever looked into before. So I was looking what in the Gematria database equates to 907. And one word that jumped out to me right away was government. Government 907. And again, media, governments, propaganda. I mean, the airlines are completely overseen by government. So that stood out. The phrase watchers is also 907. That's something to research. The word Fox, F-A-U-X, as in fake, is 907. And again, we have to ask ourselves, are we in a time where the powers that shouldn't be, who control media and governments and things like airlines, are they mad enough? Are they insane enough? And we've been wondering this for a long time, to literally create false stories about plane crashes. Is it possible this was some drone-controlled plane and they literally do this just to create the terror in the minds of the masses and the millions of people who are doing holiday travel right now? Again, I wouldn't put it past yourself. And like I said, I'd like to see the statistics in the world for the amount of people who fly. I know a lot of people, when they fly, they go out and they get some like anti-anxiety meds, something to calm their nerves. How many drug sales bumped up in the world for things like that because of these stories in recent days of the plane crashes? But yes, in the database, Fox, F-A-U-X 907. And then here's the one that really got me, Brotherhood of Saturn. I've looked into this thing in the past. This is a real order that was created in Germany, same place the Illuminati was created. The Brotherhood of Saturn, their establishment date is May 8th, 1928. And a couple things that are interesting about that. That means that order is going to turn 97 years old on May 8th, upcoming. Hey, sweetie pie, hold on. Hold on. Let me adjust this little sweet girl. Is daddy? All right. I know. She said, why can't we just relax? Listen, we got to get the world. We got to get this information to the world so we can change the world, sweetie pie. Okay. 907 weeks, 907, you guys. Again, plane crash 97. This Brotherhood of Saturn, though, if people really were killed in this, and this was not necessary, and there something was orchestrated to make this ritual happen. Again, think about when you take off in a plane. If you've ever taken a plane, they'll say estimated arrival in X city at this time local. Oh no, sweetie, I'm sorry. Oh no, what is it? I'm sorry. Hold on, sweet girl. Okay. But they have these flights down to the minute, right? For anyone who's flown, you know that's true. Sometimes you arrive there early, a little late, but a lot of times they have an exact estimated time of arrival. A lot of times it's right about that time. So yes, they could be doing the math on, okay, this plane is supposed to arrive at 9:07 a.m. and it drew the short straw because they've had this thing in the books planned for a minute. So again, you seriously have to go and you have to go, well, wait a minute. Yeah, what are the odds that the only two plane crash incidents for this airline are 907 weeks apart and today's is 9:07 a.m.? And again, we've been here talking about these same numbers in plane crashes for a long time. Okay, we're going to keep this one short and sweet. Sweet girl is not having it right now. All right, sweetie pie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're almost done. We're almost done. Okay. But here, I want you to see this Brotherhood of Saturn thing, which has the 907 connection in the Gematria database. Again, the establishment date, May 8th, hold on. Okay, actually, I guess there's two establishment dates. The official date is Easter of 1928. They also have it might be like the Jesuits, where the Jesuits came together as an order and then they were officially recognized. But okay, May 8th, 1926, the initial, but then Easter of 1928. So again, Easter, you guys, Jesus, the Society of Jesus, the Jesuits, this is what we covered earlier. Do you remember how for a bit they had this headline up last night that at least 85 were dead? They went through this progression of numbers. The first time I saw it was at least 28. Then it jumped up to at least 47. Then it went up to at least 85. And then it went up to at least 126. Again, Korea equals 85, but so does the Jesuit motto, Isus hominum salvator, which means Jesus, Savior of man. And remember, there's some interesting gematria connections with Saturn and the New Testament and the numbers on Jesus, and including the first Jesuit pope. The Jesuits are the Society of Jesus. His birthday is Saturnalia, which just passed on December 17th. Yeah. What's it all about? So yeah, their official establishment anniversary, they will turn 97 this coming Easter. And real quick, from this wreck to the May 8th date is 130 days. Human sacrifice is 130. You might recall we just talked about that with the Azerbaijani airline. That wreck was 130 days after the anniversary of the airline's establishment. Again, human sacrifice is 130. So this time it's 130 days before this Brotherhood of Saturn. And keep in mind, you guys, we're in the time of Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Here, let's see if this is a more calming position. Hold on, sweet girl. Hold on. Let's try this out. Hold on. I want to get a few more things out here. See if we can get her comfortable. Okay. All right. But notice that Brotherhood of Saturn date can also be written 8/5, like how for a minute they had this 85 thing. And again, a lot of these secret societies are essentially a big spider web and a lot of hidden links. Again, a Jesuit founded the Illuminati in Germany. This order's out of Germany. Again, Pope Francis, born on Saturnalia, et cetera. But hold on, I got to look up what day is Easter 2025. Let's see something real quick. April 20th, so it'll be on the 110th day of the year. So that means that this wreck on December 29th is the day leaving 2 days left in the year. So that means Easter Sunday is 112 days from today. And, you know, speaking of the Jesuits, how many countries do they operate in? 112. What's Catholicism equal in Gematria? 112. What's mathematics equal? 112. 1 + 1 is 2. These people working by numbers every day. Again, modern Freemasonry, a Jesuit creation. They etch on the temple all is number. 4th book of the Bible, Numbers. All right. This seems to be a more relaxing position for her right now. All right. The other thing I want to, okay. So in case you missed the other Korea stuff, again, Jeju Air, the airline. If you're new here, there's 4 base ciphers of the language, the alphabetic order, the reverse alphabetic order, and both orders with numerology. Jeju Air is 29. Again, plane crash in South Korea, both 43 and 56, forwards and backwards. We just had a major 43 ritual with the Christmas crash on the 43rd parallel, 43 days after the Superior General's birthday. You look into that airline, their first plane crash was Flight 56. Again, today's 47 days after the Superior General's birthday. The name of this airline As you would see it written up, Jesuit Air CO Ltd, 47 days after the Superior General's birthday. Again, for a period of time, they were saying at least 47 dead. Again, this airline's 19 years old. 19's a magic number, 19-year cycles. These people love the 19. We were talking about how the Azerbaijani airline, they had a similar crash 19 years and 2 days earlier, December 23rd, 2005, the same year that this airline was created. And again, just this being on the, this is important too. This airport where this happened, Muon International Airport, equals 118 like death, and it was opened on November 8th, 2007. Having a baby's like having a real life bobblehead. You got to be careful with their little necks. All right, let's see. Muon 49. Again, 49 years ago to the day, the LaGuardia unsolved bombing. Somebody's hungry, aren't they? Somebody is. Hold on. She's eating my shoulder. All right, do we need to get some milk? Didn't we just eat? Our hungry growing girl. Do you want a pacifier? You just want to eat daddy's shoulder? The pacifier is no good. She was like, I was enjoying the shoulder. All right, hold on. But yeah, again, also just how LaGuardia and Jeju Air have the same recurring number, 74, like killing. If you're new here, very fateful pattern in history is this 74 in death. Like I said, the Ides of March, according to the calendar given to us that says today is December 29th, the 74th day of the year to remember the killing of Caesar. Again, this calendar came from the Jesuit priest Christopher Clavius. And with regards to the Jesuits, again, Jimmy Carter. We had today circled as a possible transition date for Biden to Kamala. And the reason why is because it was 39 days after Joe Biden's birthday. I should have thought about this because I predicted at the beginning of Biden's term that we'd see Jimmy Carter die while Joe Biden was in office. But today's, of course, Jimmy Carter was number 39. So he dies 39 days after Joe Biden's birthday. And as we covered recently, Jimmy Carter had the story back in October that he was only living to vote for Kamala Harris. Again, Kamala equals 39. Of course, Joe Biden's vice president. But from the election date, November 5th, that's the day leaving 25 days left in the month. Now here we are 29 days into the year. That means Jimmy Carter has died 54 days after the election. And again, he's died on a Sunday. I want you to see this in light of Jimmy Carter, son, and Jesuit order. How perfect is this? Another perfect son death tribute. It's a lot like what they did to Kobe Bryant on a Sunday, where Jimmy Carter equals 54. So does Kobe Bean Bryant. But Jimmy Carter, 54. Jesuit order, 54. Again, Jimmy Carter and Jesuit order, forwards and reverse, 54 and 72. Again, the word son, again, the Catholic Church began as a son cult. They run this nation. Sun is 54. The sun moves 1 degree on the, oh no, did I wake you up? You fell asleep. I woke you up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, love. We're almost done. Okay, the sun moves 1 degree on the astrological wheel every 72 years. Okay, so think about it. Here we are on Sunday on a calendar given to us by the Catholic Church, days of the week named by the Catholic Church. Again, Jesuit order and Jimmy Carter, 54 and 72. Remember, Biden became senator-elect in 72. Jimmy wasn't quite to the presidency back then yet. He was on his way. But just think about it. Jimmy Carter, dead on a Sunday. And do you know how I'm always showing you how they sync up the rigged NFL with the Oval Office, the ritualistic deaths, how this stuff goes on all the time? Let's take a look at what they did in the NFL today and what Sunday Night Football is. And keep in mind, you guys, we always call Sunday Night Football the 39 game. Look at this. We always call it the 39 game. SNF is 39. Tonight, Sunday Night Football. Have you seen what the game is tonight that they got going in the National Fix League? Where it's always synced up with the news and the politics. Look at this, you guys. Let's count up the games today on Sunday. So the Sunday games. Okay, home teams. Vikings and Packers game just finished. You got to love it. 52 points, right? Like Minnesota equals 52, like they hosted Super Bowl 52. Jordan Love stayed on 18 wins. Bears equals 18, who he faces next week. Next week, LaFleur can get his 71st win. Chicago Bears, 71. But anyway, look at the home teams this week. Home teams went 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 5-2, 6-2. So on this Sunday, home teams are 6-2. And what's the last game of the night? It's in the nation's capital. Dan Quinn, the coach of the Commanders, who used to coach the Falcons, who used to coach in Seattle, where Michael Penix played at University of Washington, who's getting his second career start tonight for the Falcons. But anyhow, tonight, if Dan Quinn wins for the Commanders, here, let me show you Dan Quinn's stats. Let's see if they got it all synced up just so perfectly like we show week after week. People are still like, oh, I think it's all. I mean, you guys, how can this be a coincidence? Let's not forget Dan Quinn has a. Do you see Dan Quinn's record, you guys? He has 53 wins in the regular season and 47 losses. We won't even talk about the 47 losses. His next win is 54. And if his team wins, home teams are going to be 7-2. And you know what I was thinking? I was thinking when I looked at this, I was like, why? I should have thought of this morning. You know, if my mind was a little bit sharper, I might have put this together. I was thinking when I looked at this week, I was like, why would the NFL schedulers have the Falcons, who are expected to be not a very good team this year? Why would they have them in prime time at the end of the season when it's usually about playoff battles? I don't think anyone expected the Falcons to do anything this year, signing the bum Kirk Cousins. And how could see, you guys, if the National Fixed League was real, how could anybody offer Kirk Cousins even any money to play for their football team? He absolutely sucks. Again, they pay these guys who are born into the club. A lot of them don't even belong there, like Kirk Cousins. But nobody expected the Falcons to do anything this year, and not really the Commanders either. So why are these teams at the end of the year playing in prime time, right about when it's playoff time? Because they had this whole thing scheduled the entire year. Like I told you at the beginning of the year, they showed Jimmy Carter at some funeral. I can't remember whose funeral it was, but they were literally wheeling him around on something that looked like a dolly, like how you'd bring in a bunch of packages if you were a delivery guy. They're wheeling him around some kind of dolly thing, and he looked totally dead. It looked like Weekend at Bernie's. I was like, they're telling you Jimmy Carter's alive? Okay, maybe they got some heart machine keeping his heart ticking, oxygen tanks there on his dolly. That doesn't look like a living human being. And then they want to tell you he voted for Kamala Harris in your rigged selections. But again, it just so happens that if the Commanders win, home teams are going to be 7-2. And Quinn, who, again, used to coach in Seattle, where Michael Penix, who's playing tonight, played at Washington, but then he went to coach the Falcons, so he's facing his old team now with the Commanders. Again, what are the odds of these things? And this is what we document year after year, the perfectly rigged games and rituals, the ritualistic deaths. Again, how your news is manufactured by the numbers, contrived plane crashes. She's almost done. You want her? You want her? She's sleeping. Mama was coming to check on her daughter. But again, this is what they do year after year, you guys. And then you say, who does it? I mean, we're showing you the Super Bowl, who gets the big trophy, the Lombardi trophy. What was Vince Lombardi? He was a Jesuit who died unexpectedly at Jesuit Georgetown to start the 1970 season. I don't know if there's something to that because it's 70 days after Kamala's birthday today. I might have to go. I'm still trying to figure out the 70 days after Kamala's birthday piece. I have to look more into Jimmy Carter, what he was up to in 1970. But again, you guys, just, you know, the Commanders can also become 7-2 at home. You see that? They're 10-5. By the way, we love the Commanders to upset the Eagles last week. They're the only team in the NFL with a true 105 connection. This is the 105th NFL season. Commanders upset the Eagles last week to get to 10-5. But yeah, Jimmy Carter, 54-72. And I can still hear the dummies from a decade ago when I started, oh, you're using multiple ciphers. And I'd be like, yeah, and look how it all lines up in one day. You know, again, seriously, what are the odds that the National Fixed League would have it all lined up so perfectly on the day Jimmy Carter dies? He's from Georgia, used to be the president. And again, you guys, go back and look when they called Georgia for Joe Biden. You see how Georgia's 44? Georgia's 44. Joe Biden's 44. Once the VP to number 44, elected 44 years after the Civil Rights Act. Go back and look. When Georgia was called for Biden, it was called on the 44th day of Jimmy Carter's age. Rigged elections, rigged sports games. You can see through it all with this little gematria code, you know? So yeah, that game's going to kick off in 20 minutes. Here, out of curiosity, let me see what the league-wide record is for the week. All right, so it's right now it's 6-2 for today. Oh, and think about it. The last game. Think about it, you guys. The game that just finished up, right? The last game of the earlier games, home teams became 6-2 with Minneapolis winning. Minneapolis is 62. Minneapolis hangs on to beat the Packers. Minneapolis 62. Now they got a big game with the Lions next week, NFC North. So home teams became 6-2 in Minneapolis, just for the record. But here, before Sunday, good game start with Christmas this week. Again, Christmas, the son's birthday, then Jimmy Carter with the 54 connections dead. 4 days later, Georgia's the fourth state. He's dead 4 days after the birthday of the son. But okay, home teams went 0-2 on Christmas. Hey, aren't you glad you skipped out on your family to pay for the overpriced tickets to watch your home team get punked on Christmas? Just something the National Fixed League loves to do. We all know about the 666 ritual at the Bears and Seahawks game. I covered that earlier this week. Second 666 ritual the Seahawks were involved in on Thursday this year. In week 6, the 49ers got their 666th franchise win. Bears got their 666th franchise loss. 36, 666. Again, 666 is the 36th triangular number. Bears equals 36. They lose 3-6. When the Niners did the ritual earlier this year, they scored 36 points. Bird flu's buzzing. The Bulls became 13-18 on this same day, like Revelation 13:18 is 666, and they did that against the Atlanta Hawks, where the CDC is, while bird flu's buzzing, and bird flu also equals 36. Anyway, home teams were 0-3 through Thursday night football, and yesterday they went 2-1. So home teams were 2-4 coming into today, and they're 6-2. So they're 10 wait. I got this sleepy man math going on right now. 0-3, 0-4, 2-4. 2-4. So 8-6 is what they are right now. Okay, 8-6 is what they are right now. 8-6 for the week. So that also means that if the Falcons lose, home teams are 9-6, which means road teams are 6-9. And just for the record, Atlanta is 69. So road teams can fall to 6-9. Okay. Also makes sense. But yeah, no doubt a Jimmy Carter tribute. Again, National Fixed League, rigged NFL. I was trying to make that point about the point earlier, how God's Son equals 93, like Nazareth, like crucifix, like Saturn, they all equal 93. The 930th chapter of the Bible is where the Christian section begins. Okay. But yeah, if you got here late, Cliff Notes, this plane crash happened reportedly at 9:07 a.m., exactly 907 weeks after the only other plane crash for this airline. 9:07 a.m., 907 weeks later. And again, interesting things in the database for 907. Vatican Bank was also one of them. I'm not sure that's the right connection. I mean, that is connected to the Jesuits. Maybe somehow, some way, some kind of money-making operation here. But government 907, Fox as in fake 907, and Brotherhood of Saturn also 907. And that Brotherhood of Saturn got interesting to me because it's officially 97 years old next year on Easter. And let me double check my Easter numbers. Easter and Ishtar. I know Easter Sunday can get fateful. We've seen some crazy stories on Easter Sunday. You remember the Stevie Steve shooting in Cleveland the other year on Easter? Social media killings. Back then I could get views. Oh, sorry. When you scare a baby, their arms just jump. I'm sorry, sweetie pie, but she's still somehow sleeping through it. Okay. Okay. We're going to wrap it up. Okay, sweetie pie. All right. He was the 76th governor of Georgia, and he voted for Kamala on the day, leaving 76 days left in the year, October 16th. Again, he's dead 54 days after the election, like Jimmy Carter and Jesuit order. And remember, the election was on remember the 5th of November, the day to remember the Jesuits trying to blow up British Parliament. But yeah, 39th president, dead 39 days after Joe Biden's birthday. And then they even got SNF, what we've always called the 39 game for over a decade, lined up with him on a Sunday. All right. King Richard TV says Jimmy Carter has died a span of 1,440 days after Joe Biden and Kamala Harris took office. Yeah, another Jesuit order, 144, absolutely. Square root of 12 month. 1,440 minutes in a day. 1,440 minutes in a day. And let's see. 56, 187, 61 play hot on 420, right? Are you saying that because of old I know why you're saying that. Because it's this guy's birthday. I see why you're saying that. That short mustache man's birthday. His name has all those numbers. Remember, they say he supposedly committed suicide at age 56, but his body was never found. One of those classics from history. Kind of stuff they teach you in slave school. And isn't it crazy how people go through the indoctrination centers and don't question any of it, and then they come across something like this that's like truly undeniable presentation every day, and then they question everything about it? That doesn't make any sense. What? Numbers, numerology, I learned in slave school. That's stupid. And I also learned that Adolf Hitler committed suicide, and his body was never found. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, you know, the scary thing for 20, remember we told you 2020 was going to get ugly with the death, because 20 is death and it was 2020. Now it's 2025. And I mean, do you see the death numbers up here? Not to mention 97 is the 25th prime. So again, they're threatening another C-19 type of thing, or it could be bird flu this time, but it could be like 2020 deja vu. All right. Yeah, we'll see what they have on New Year's Day, because remember, New Year's Day gets fateful every year. Every year, New Year's gets fateful. New Year's and New Year's Eve. New Year's got that 38-43, like killing, like RIP. To start off 2025 could get wicked. Okay. All right, yeah, we're going to leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. Again, thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share. And until next time.